Welcome to Chapter 3.1, Part 3, Some Alternative Methods. The method we are going to study here is called duplication and mediation. Duplication refers to doubling a number, and mediation refers to halving a number. So we're going to use this method to multiply 19 times 17. So let us go over to the whiteboard and see how this is done. In example number 1, we're asked to multiply 19 times 17. And we're asked to use the method of duplication and mediation. So this is the method we have to use to solve this particular example. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put 19 and a little bar here, 17, to just separate the two. And it turns out I'm going to divide by 2 on this side with the 19, and I'm going to multiply by 2 on this side for the 17. So when I divide 19 by 2, I actually get 9.5. But we're only going to use the digit 9. We're not going to worry about the remainder. So I'm going to write 9 underneath here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take 17 and I'm going to multiply that by 2, and I'm going to get 34 if I multiply 17 times 2. Then I'm going to do the same thing here with 9. I'll put the little dividing here thing to just separate the two. Then I'm going to divide 9 by 2. And when I divide 9 by 2, I get 4.5. Again, I only use this part. I do not use the remainder. So I put the 4. And then I double, or times 2, 34. And when I times 34 by 2, I get 68. And then I take 4, I divide that by 2. Well, that's easy enough. That's 2. And then I multiply 68 by 2, and I get 138. And then 2 divided by 2, I get 1. And then I put this little thing here, and I multiply that by 2, and I get 272. Now, the next thing I want to do is I want to cross out, when I look at the column here, where I divided by 2, and I look for any of these numbers that are even, and I cross them out. So in this case, the only two that are even, 4 is an even number, and 2 is an even number. And then I look at the side multiplied by 2 that's left. So I have 17. I have 34. And I have 272. And I add those up, and I get 323. And that's the same thing as if I multiply 19 times 17, I'll get 323. Now you may ask, well, what if I decide to do it in the other direction? Well, let's try that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to clear this. And I'm going to start all over again, but instead, original problem, 19 times 17. But instead, I'm going to put this one times 2 and this side divided by 2. So I end up if I divide 17 by 2 and I just take the non-remainder part, meaning the part before the decimal point, I'll get 8. And if I double 19, I'll get 38. And then 8 divided by 2 is 4. And I double 38 and I get 76. And 4 divided by 2 is 2. And I double 76 and I get 152. And then 2 divided by 2 is 1. And that's double 152 and I get 304. And then I cross out on this side all the even ones. This is an even one. This is an even one. This is an even one because 8, 4, and 2 are even. And then I just look at the other side, the multiplication by 2 side, and I add 19 plus 304. And what do I get? 323, which is the same answer that I got going the other way. So it really doesn't matter which way you go. You just have to be consistent on which side you're going to multiply by 2 and which side you're going to divide by 2. Reviewing what we did on the whiteboard, I write 19 and 17 with a dash between them. Divide the number on the left, 19, by 2. Drop the remainder. Place the quotient 9 under the 19. Double the number on the right, 17, to obtain 34. Place it under the 17. Continue this process until 1 appears on the left-hand column. So here we have 1 on the left-hand column. Then I cross out all the even numbers in the left-hand column and the corresponding numbers on the right-hand column. I cross out all the even numbers in the left-hand column and the corresponding numbers in the right-hand column. So here I'm crossing out the 4 and the 68. Here I'm crossing out the 2 and the 134, but these are all odd. 9 is odd, so I keep the 9 and the 34. 19 is odd, so I keep the 19 and the 17. 1 is odd, so I keep the 1 and the 272. Then I add the remaining numbers in the right-hand column, 17, 34, 272, and I get 323. So this implies that 19 times 17 is 323. As we did on the whiteboard, we're going to also do this right to left. So we divide the number on the right, 17, by 2, drop the remainder, place the quotient 8 under 19, double the number on the left, 19, to obtain 38, and place it under the 19. We continue this process until 1 appears in the right-hand column. And here's our 1. And we cross out all the even numbers in the right-hand column, in this case, and the corresponding numbers in the left-hand column, and add what's left over in the left-hand column. And in this case, we have 19 and 304, and when we add those two up, we get 323, and that's the same answer as we got doing it from left to right. In example number 2, we're asked to multiply 123 times 21 using the technique of duplication and mediation. So let us go over to the whiteboard and work this one out. In example number 2, we're going to multiply 123 times 21. And again, we're going to use the method of duplication and mediation because this is the method that we're asked to use. So again, I'm going to decide one side I'm going to do divide by 2, and the other side I'm going to multiply by 2. So in this case, I'm going to take 123 and 21. So I'm going to divide 123 by 2 and just throw away the remainder. So I get 61. And I'm going to double 21, so I get 42. And then divide 61 by 2. I get 30 because I throw away the remainder. And I double 42 and I get 84. 30 I divide by 2, I get 15. And I'm going to double 84 and I get 164. And then 15 I'm going to divide by 2 and throw away the remainder, so I get 7. And I'm going to double 164 and I get 336. 7 I'm going to divide by 2 and throw away the remainder, so I get 3. And then I get 672. And then finally, I divide 3 by 2, throw away the remainder, I get 1. And I double 672 and I get 1,344. Now I look on the side with divide by 2 and I see, well, what are the even numbers? Well, the only even one I have really is 30. Everything else is odd. So I'm going to add up all of these on this side here: 21, 42, 164, 336, 672, and 1,344. And when I do, I get 2,583. When I add these up. Now I'm going to go the other direction. So I'm going to multiply by 2 the 123, and I'm going to divide by 2 the 21. Well, when I divide by 2 the 21 and throw away the remainder, I get 10. And when I double the 123, I get 246. 10 divided by 2 is 5. And I double 246 and I get 492. 5 divided by 2, throw away the remainder, I get 2. And I double 492 and I get 984. And then 2 divided by 2 is 1. And doubling the 984, I get 1,968. And I add all of that up. Well, before I add all of that up, I have to do the crossing out. Because here's the even one. I don't want that. And here's the even one. I don't want that. So I only really want, in this case, I want 123. I want 492. And I want 1,968. So I only add those up. And when I add those up, guess what? I get the same answer. So it doesn't matter which side you choose to multiply by 2 and which side you choose to divide by 2, just so long as you remain consistent in which side you decide. In reviewing what we just did on the whiteboard, we write 123 and 21 with a dash between them. Divide the number on the left by 123 by 2. Drop the remainder. Place the quotient 61 under the 123. Double the number on the right to 21 to obtain 42. Place it under the 21. Continue the process until 1 appears in the left-hand column. Cross out even numbers in the left-hand column, add remaining numbers in the right-hand column. In this case, it's 21 plus 42 plus 168 plus 336 plus 672 plus 1,344, and that gives us 2,583. As we did it on the whiteboard, we'll do it the other way. We divide the numbers on the right, 21 by 2, drop the remainder, place the quotient 10 underneath 21, double the number on the left, 123, to obtain 246 placed under the 123. And we continue the process until 1 appears in the right-hand column. We cross out the even numbers in the right-hand column and the corresponding ones in the left-hand column and add as before, and we see we get 2,583, the same as we got doing it the other way. The disadvantages of duplication and mediation: it is too complicated, hard to remember the procedure, that really doesn't make sense and is very confusing. In example number 3, we're asked to use the technique called scaffold division, and we're asked to divide 84 divided by 21 using scaffold division. So let us go over to the whiteboard and show how this is done. In this example, we're asked to divide 84 by 21. And we're also asked to use scaffolding division. So we have to use this particular method because this is what we're asked to use. So what I do is I have 84 and I look at 21. So I'm going to do some kind of multiplication with 21. So in this case, I'm going to take 21 and I'm going to multiply it by 3, and I'm going to get 63. And that's okay, so long as it's less than 84. So I'm going to bring that down, 63. And I'm going to put the 3 on the side here. And I'll do some subtraction. So when I subtract, I get 21. Now I see, because I see it, that this will be 21 times 1 is going to be equal to 21. So I put the 1 on the side there, and I subtract off the 21, and I get 0. Now, what I do is here, I have 3, and I add 1, and I get 4. So this means that 84 divided by 21 is equal to 4. Now, of course, I don't have to use 3. I can use something else. Let's say I erase this, and I can use 2. And that means that I would get here, instead of 64, I'll get 42. And then I would subtract instead 42. And then instead of get 42, I'll subtract 84, 42 from 84, and I'll get 42. And then what I could do is 21 times 2, which will give me 42. And instead of on the side here, I'll just erase this too. So on the side, I'll have 2 here, and I'll have 2 here. And there I subtract
42, I'll get 0. So when I add these two up, I get 4. So I get the same answer, even though I used 4 instead of 3. So it doesn't really matter which one you choose or what number you choose to multiply it by, just so long as that when you multiply the two things, this by something, it'll be less than 84 in this case.
Reviewing what we did on the whiteboard, this is a more efficient version of repeated subtraction. The procedure is to subtract multiples of the divisor. So here we have 84 divided by 21. I chose 3 to multiply 21 by, and I got 63. I put the 3 on the side here. I subtracted. I got 21. Then 1 times 21 is 21. Subtracted, got 0, and then added up the side here. 3 plus 1 is equal to 4. And that's how many times 21 goes into 84. Alternatively, you don't have to choose 3. You can choose other numbers. The only restriction is that the multiple chosen must be any number less than the dividend. For example, we can choose 2. So 84 divided by 21, well, if we multiply 21 by 2, we get 42. And then we subtract off 42. And then if we multiply 21 by 2 again, we get 42. We subtract 42 from 42, we get 0. We then add 2 plus 2 and we get 4. Thus, 84 divided by 21 is equal to 4. In example number 4, we're going to divide 170 divided by 14 using scaffold division. I choose 10 since it is easy to multiply but doesn't go over 170. This implies 14 times 10 is equal to 140. And I put the 10 here, and here's my 140. I subtract the 140 from my 170 to get 30. Then I do this with 30. I choose 2. 2 times 14 gives me 28. I subtract 28 from 30. I get 2. And I put that 2 on the side that I multiplied by. So now I have 10 plus 2 is 12. But I have 2 left over. So that means that 170 divided by 14 is equal to 12 with a remainder of 2. Thank you very much. I hope that you enjoyed this video. Be well, take care, and goodbye for now.